All right, so welcome to the second episode of Crane's Barn Grill. This one's going to be a little different because this one's not going to be watching a movie or anything. We are going to be reviewing The Batman. So, you know,
Not
we
just
went.
Batman, the Batman.
We all just went and saw it, and so we figured we'd give our review on it. And we went ahead and we ordered the
Bat calzone.
The Bat calzone from Little Caesars.
Calzone? I don't know how they want to
However you say it. You got the.
It looks like a greasy mess.
Yeah, turn
Looks
back around.
good.
Turn back around the other side. So I can get me some. I'm hungry. And we might as well go ahead and get the drinks out of the way.
Yeah.
Rum and Coke bartender. Thank you.
Rum of choice?
Captain.
The calzones do look slightly inappropriate.
Yes, they do.
So we want to keep this family friendly.
It's family friendly, Sierra. Goth.
I said calzone.
But just put it this way. What Sierra thought it looked like, I told her that if it did look like that, you might want to go to the doctor.
You done messed up.
Previews that were mentionable.
There were two with Brad Pitt. I was not interested in the first one where he's in a train fighting people.
Yeah, it seemed like a very basic action-y movie.
And he's
like
not a basic action-y guy.
I like basic action movies.
It looked good.
just-
Nothing stood out.
Right. And I want to see Brad Pitt looking beautiful like Fabio in the other
I don't
one.
even remember that one.
Yeah, see?
I went and got
See?
more popcorn.
Oh, that's
You did
true.
win that.
He finished the popcorn before the movie started.
Yeah.
We were there forever. You started at 8, we got there at 7. You got there at 8, it started, we got there at 7:30.
No, it started at 8:30. We got there at 8.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew about 30 minutes early.
Still.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
You get a large popcorn.
Yes.
I was sharing it with Mom.
Oh, okay.
But no, the first trailer, I don't remember the name of the movie, but it was Brad Pitt is some sort of like freelance agent or something.
It was a little Mission Impossible-y the way
Yeah.
he gets his missions.
And he wanted like out. He didn't want to do
Oh, I
any
see
more
that.
missions
I
where he
remember
wanted
that.
to kill people.
He wanted out and he didn't want to kill people. I remember that
Yeah.
now. And they got on the train and
Yeah.
And everybody's
Well,
looking for that
Everybody
case.
is trying to kill
like
people.
they were on the quiet car. Remember that at the beginning?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
It looked okay.
I remember
Looked alright, yeah.
the
Anything else?
Secrets of Dumble, whatever the new Fantastic Beasts movie is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That one, the two with Brad Pitt, the Bob's Burgers one, and that's it. I don't remember any other.
Forgot lime juice.
Yeah, the
like,
Bob's
what does this
Burgers, and I
taste
never
like?
watched Bob's Burgers, so I'm not.
I don't either. If it was Family Guy, I'm there for it. Or South Park. But I don't really watch Bob's Burgers.
All right, so on to Batman, or The Batman.
The Batman.
The Batman.
Oh, that's good, Connor.
So
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I guess we'll start. So what'd you think, Connor?
Um,
Oh, got my napkin.
we're talking like overall.
Yeah, overall.
You want to talk overall, and then we can get into specific things.
Yeah, overall. Let's not get into any spoilers right
Okay,
now.
okay.
Then we'll get into little spoilers later. So we'll know when to.
Okay, we'll let them know.
Yeah.
When
Sounds
the
good.
spoilers are. Yeah.
Overall, really positive. I thought it was really good. Maybe it didn't need to be 3 hours, but it never dragged for long periods of time.
Mm-hmm.
By today's standards, it was practically a masterpiece. It was.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
From a lot of the movies coming out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
And a lot of movies we watch.
Yes. yes.
Yes, compared to some of the ones we watch.
Compared to the trash
Fantastic.
we watch, yes.
I don't
was
know if it
wonderful.
was better than Teenage
Teenage
Aliens from Outer Space,
Yeah.
but
Oh god.
Or Sharknado, but you know.
yeah.
I liked it. Same thing as Connor, it was a little long. Not a little long, it was a lot long. It was long. But but I liked it. I liked the plot. I liked the actors. The story it was a good movie. It was just so long. I'm like, and like Connor said, it didn't drag. It was just so much that went into one movie.
Yeah.
And, like, once you thought it was over, it wasn't. And then there was another ending and another.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, it was better. It was better than Batman Forever.
Well,
Which is not saying much.
most movies are better than Batman.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't have Mr. Freeze dancing, which is personally my favorite part, but I got over that. But yeah, so better than Batman Forever. It was better than some of the other Batmans I've seen too, honestly.
Yeah, I liked it. It was good. Like everybody says, it's too long,
Yeah.
and for me, it was way too long. I mean, there's no way
You got-
a Batman does not need to be 3
Yeah.
hours long.
No.
You fell asleep for a minute.
I fell asleep for a minute. That's how long it was. But
But he's also old, so we could chalk it up to that.
Yeah.
but yeah, but even the beginning. I mean, it was just like was going on in the beginning. I was like,
Yeah.
But I mean, I liked the story and stuff, and I really liked Catwoman and Batman together. I liked their chemistry. I liked the story.
Great
I liked them
chemistry.
both liking each other, so that way they, they can kind of maybe in the next movie or a movie after that they can play off each other like they both kind of like each other, and I like that. I liked, like I said, I liked the story. I liked Batman actually being a detective.
Yes,
I love that.
It was
I like
very,
that.
it was
That.
very much like
You know.
a detective noir
Yeah, it was-
film
it was almost
with
watch-
action with
Yeah.
action
Yes.
throughout.
It was almost like watching the cartoon. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was like an episode of the cartoon that was
Yeah,
just really, really
he's going to
long.
go in and investigate this, investigate that.
It was like a whole season of the cartoon.
Exactly. Actually, I think it was longer than the whole season of the cartoon. But
Yeah.
still.
But it's it's definitely one that if I don't know if I would watch it again before the next one comes out. It's one of those ones where like if it came out on video next week, I don't know if I'd watch it right now because that's 3 hours out of my life gone. But if it was here in a few days we were going to go see the second one, I'd probably watch it again. Just
Yeah.
because it kind of leads into the second one, and then if it's supposed to be a trilogy or something like that, then I could see after they're all out, kind of like Lord of the Rings is long. I could see me watching all of them as a story, but I just don't know if I'd sit down and watch it. Of course, getting ready to get that operation on my neck, so when I'm off work for 6 weeks, I would definitely
Maybe.
watch it then.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just because, hey, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to sit on the couch and can't do anything anyway. So,
Yeah.
but no, I like you said, especially compared to other movies that come out lately and stuff, it was good. It was, as far as that goes.
They did a really good job of any time there was something happening, it had a purpose.
It did have a
Yes,
purpose.
it had
Yes.
a purpose.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't
So-
see it right then, or like the only thing that dragged was just like they held on to some shots a little too long.
And that's the thing. They
Yeah.
may have some shots, and you cut a little of those down. That'll cut some off. And then, like I said at the beginning, I don't know what the purpose was. Him looking through the binoculars at that family when they could have got the exact same. They could have actually got a creepier.
They could have cut
Yeah.
the beginning down to a much shorter intro.
He's looking all over
to
the
what's
building,
going
around
on,
and
yeah.
around. And then, you don't know what's going on. So you're like, what's going on? Some guy's looking
And
through it.
I-
But if they would have had
yeah.
it instead, had him in the room already, and the kid, the son came,
This is kind of spoilery, but this is also the first 2 seconds of the movie.
Yeah, that's not spoiling anything.
Yeah.
But if
like,
they'd have
okay.
had, and I said him,
Inciting it.
so,
Cool.
Right.
but anyway,
Everyone knows
they
the-
had,
it's
well,
the Riddler.
Yeah,
Everyone knows.
But they had,
who it is.
and he's standing in the shadows like they had it later when he looked through binoculars.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden he's standing there, and you're like, first of all, how did he get over there so fast? I don't know how much longer it was later, but anyway, if you'd had him standing in the dark when his son had come in and his son had done the thing, and you'd have saw it from that point of view, and then realized, and I was thinking, and you could only see him standing in the shadows if you'd watched it a second time. The first time, you didn't really notice that you're really, really sharp.
Yeah.
Because like you saw it, did you just see where you could see the reflection off his glasses?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could have...
After you saw him the first time.
Yeah. So you could have... You know what I mean? You could have like the lights in the back or this, and you think that's just a couple lights, that's whatever. Like that's the light on his glasses, and you didn't know, and then they go to move.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh crap, that's something. And that's been standing there the whole time his kid was in here and his wife was in there, or
Yeah.
something like that. That could have been creepier than him looking through the window.
Yeah.
And you could have cut it way down to a little shorter period of time.
Yeah.
But like I said, and then holding on to some shots a little too long, and
Yeah.
You know.
It really the only time it never dragged for a long period, it would drag for like a minute. Mm-hmm. Like this one scene, you're like, why are they holding on to the shot so long? And then it'd move on, and then it'd be a couple minutes later, they'd hold on to another shot just a little too long. I'm like, that's the only it dragged in like very small intervals. Mm. It wasn't like
which over a 3-hour movie.
The second act was just boring.
Yeah, which over a 3-hour movie adds up to be a lot.
Yeah.
If they cut all the scenes that dragged just a little bit down, you might be able to lose like a half hour of the movie. But it's
and I can't understand why they got Colin Farrell to play the Penguin,
and then
when you can't recognize him at all.
Yeah, they made him look like I'm blanking on his name. Robert De Niro. They made him look like Robert De Niro in like The Untouchables, but with like a scarred face.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay.
They made him look. They made him look like Robert De Niro.
But Robert De Niro still looked like Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, you'd want, if you're Colin Farrell, you think you'd want to do even his voice and everything. You couldn't tell at all.
No.
Which
the
is
only
good for
reason I knew is because somebody told me that before going in.
Which I think says a lot for Colin Farrell or whatever like that, because that's how good, he's a good actor.
Yeah.
Or you didn't see him in there at all. But you'd like to know if it's a famous person. You kind of like to see a little bit of him. You could have done it more like on Tropic Thunder with
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, where at first you're like,
the fat arms.
who is? I know that voice, and I know that. Who is? Oh my gosh, that's Tom Cruise. You could have done it like that. We're like, oh my gosh, that's Tom Cruise, and now it's hilarious because it's such a famous actor doing that.
Right.
I want fat hands and I want to dance.
Kind of wrap up before we talk about spoilers. We all liked it.
Yeah.
We all thought it was really good. Mm-hmm. Worth everybody going and seeing it. I mean,
it was worth going to see. I enjoy movies and long movies. I would go see it again.
Yeah.
Here in a couple days, if somebody said, "Hey, I'm going to see The Batman," I'll be like, "Hey, I'll tag along too." It's
I like it.
It's a good movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good. You should go see it, and it's good. And so, if you had to give it 8 out of 10, and I'm not sure what we would classify as a 10, I would say any of the
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings movies is going to be a 10.
Yeah, that's a 10.
And Tremors is a 10.
Yeah.
It's like the
perfect
movie. I mean, it's short,
movie.
to the point, and boom, 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 boom. Something like that. Because you can get a movie that's kind of a goofy movie, whatever, but still be a really good. Yeah. That movie did everything.
Yeah. Star Wars episodes 4 through 6.
Yeah, 4, 5, and 6.
Yep.
Yeah.
So those are 10s.
Yeah.
Still Magnolias, that is a 10.
That's a 10.
It's a 10.
Infinity Game was a 10.
Endgame.
And Endgame was like a 9.
Infinity Game.
I mean, Infinity Wars was a 10, and Endgame was like a 9.5 or 9.75. It was right almost there, but it was just a hair. But it was the perfect ending.
Yeah,
that's why everybody thinks I'm weird. I haven't watched any of the Marvel stuff after that because Endgame was the perfect Endgame.
It ended perfect.
It was.
And all you can do is ruin it from here on out. And I just didn't want to take a chance after what they did with Star Wars and other stuff. I was like, I don't want them to ruin any of my stuff, so I'll wait.
Yeah.
I will say, Spider-Man: Far From Home is a really good epilogue.
Yes.
Yes,
it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard the Star Wars were really good. I mean, the Spider-Mans, and I would trust that because everybody said those are really good.
Thor, I do want to see that when it comes. But
I've just never been
you have to watch it just because of the title.
I've just never been a big Spider-Man person. But, like I said, it's one of those things where, like, when I'm on the 6 weeks off, then I definitely watch something like that.
Mm-hmm. But, okay, so how would we rate it?
And a 1 would be The Last Jedi, because that movie actually pissed me off. It's different than just a bad movie. It was a bad movie. Yeah. If you took the Star Wars out of it, it's still just a bad movie. And a lot of people say, oh, but he was trying something different. But there's so many little things in there that, if you're me, now, like I said, this is my opinion, and I've gone through my life. I was in the military. I'm 50 years old now. I've been married for 30 years, have 2 grown kids. I've been all over the world. I've done a lot of stuff. So I see stuff in movies that a younger person may not see or may not think about, because I haven't heard anybody on any of the sites when they talk about the Last Jedi say anything about the at the beginning, the box with the button to drop the bombs. Why is there a box with the button? No, the button to drop the bombs is on a console with the
attached to the
with
ship.
either a radar, or it's got a more
Some
likely
sort of monitor or
more than
something.
likely it's going to have a monitor with the ground with the things, so you can know when you're going to drop them. It's not something you can drop and maybe drop out of the stupid ship.
And
Yeah.
the slowest
Nobody
moving
would
ships
design
known
it
to
that way
mankind.
unless you're a complete moron. No one would design that. So from the beginning, I'm looking at that going, well, and it takes me right out of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, who would do
And
that?
you can tell Ryan Johnson was like, oh, it's based off of like the
World
World
War
War II bombers. I'm like, yeah,
But they had a guy sitting at a console like this going,
well, the problem is bombers already exist in the Star Wars universe. It's called Y-Wings.
Yeah. But it was just several things like that. It wasn't that he wasn't trying to do something different. You know, I liked between Rey and Kylo. Kylo's one of my favorite characters in the whole
I love
series.
Kylo.
He's one of those ones. I like the angsty teen, but he should have had a more of an arc where he grew into a man. But
He still had the best arc out of any character in the movies.
yeah,
Well, none of the rest had an arc at all.
yeah.
That's fair.
But it was just the movie. There's too many little things in there like that were just like, oh my gosh, that's just horrible. Or that happened just because so the movie could happen, and that
Yeah.
takes me out of the movie.
Right.
But anyway, back to Batman.
But, well, in another movie that we ranked number 1, and I love all the women in this movie. I just hate this movie. The female Ghostbusters.
Oh,
I love all the women in the movie. But I hate
every actor in that movie is a great actor.
Yes.
The movie is garbage.
I've
Yes,
watched all the
it's the
movies
movie,
from.
not the
I've watched all their
actors.
other movies.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they're great.
You know?
Bridesmaids, that's 10. That's a masterpiece
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
there.
The script and just everything about the movie was
Right,
just terrible.
bad. And they deserved better.
Yeah.
They deserved a better Ghostbusters than what they got.
The Batman is a good example of how to do another one and do it right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? The only thing is a little long. That's it.
Yeah.
That's completely it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know. So.
And even then, it wasn't like a. It really wasn't like a. Like at the end of the movie, at least me, I wasn't thinking, "Oh my gosh, it's finally over." It was so long.
No.
It was thinking back on it. I'm like, oh, it was still. It felt just a hair long.
Right.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I'm not saying something when it's a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
A lot of 3-hour movies feel real long.
and at the end, I felt like, okay, you know that was long, but I want to see another one.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
wasn't like
I want.
you know, Lord of the Rings. Put it this way. Lord of the Rings is 3 hours long, but when it's over, I'm like, no, it's over. I don't
know.
want it to be
I'm
over.
sad.
Can it go on for another 3 hours?
Yeah.
That's the difference between a 10, you know,
Yes.
and something, you know. Infinity Game, you know, Infinity War.
Infinity
Sorry, I keep
War.
saying Infinity Game.
Game.
Like I said, that's
now
staying
on.
in.
Yeah,
but anyway,
It's
that's what
Game.
it's called from now on. It's
Infinity
Infinity
Game.
Game.
But that
Game.
and in game, those were long. I don't think they were 3 hours. Were they 3 hours? I don't think they were.
Infinity Game and End War.
In war. Yeah. Infinity Game, End War. Now you're gonna make me say that from now on. 'Cause I'll get it all mixed up. But they, you know, at the end of them, I was like, no, I want to be over.
Yeah.
What? You know.
Especially
So,
Infinity War.
yeah.
Everyone's like falling to dust. And
Yeah.
But that also had so many movies leading up to that.
Yeah.
And so did, you know, but anyway, let's get to where we're going to rate it, and then we'll
Yeah.
get to that other stuff.
I really like the movie. I'd say I may need to go watch it again to get like a final verdict on my score, but I'd say like 8.5 out of 10, maybe 9. Yeah, but like it, I really liked it.
I figured you would really like you know a lot of the, but you read and do a lot of more of the back lore stuff and everything. You know.
Right.
Not even from even
Yeah.
from like a backstory, backlore point of view. I to be fair, I also enjoy like detective noir movies
Well,
and Hitchcock
Yeah.
movies.
I do
and
too, but
slow
but
movies.
those are usually an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Fair.
You are more generous than me. It's not because it was a bad movie. I just have high expectations. So
Fair.
I would say
Which
Nobody is wrong.
High expectations, which means it didn't have Brad Pitt or
You shut up.
It means that
Captain Jack.
It means that Robert
was-
Pattinson, when he had his shirtless scenes, he wasn't quite ripped enough.
Which I heard that he got griped about not working out enough.
Yes. Actually, I wish he worked out to play Batman, but I didn't really mind his. I think he looked good in a shirtless scene, but I like him kind of skinny, so. But I would give it a 7.
That's
7, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10, especially for nowadays movies.
Especially
You know what I mean?
compared to most movies that come out
I'm
nowadays.
comparing it to all movies,
Well,
not
I
just
am.
nowadays.
Yeah.
Because
It's good because I mean,
Gotta keep your
let's say if
standards.
I was going to watch the Batman movies and I was going to watch them in order of what I like.
Right.
We got to remember I'm older, so I'm going to watch the first Batman with Michael Keaton,
Oh, it's a good one.
then the next one with the Penguin, and then probably this one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because even though I thought Ben Affleck was a good Batman and I wanted to see more of him, the movies weren't good,
Yeah.
and
No.
he didn't have a Batman movie.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
And I didn't care for Christian Bale's Batman. It didn't. I watched it and it was a good movie, but it didn't
those were good. There was more
excite
action.
me.
Yeah.
It didn't excite me to watch it. I will say I do like Batman Forever because it's just funny. It's just a cult classic, funny, stupid movie. But Michael Keaton's Batman is my favorite.
Yeah, but the Dark Knight and stuff like that.
Ooh, I like Val Kilmer's too.
Yeah, it just seemed because you like Val Kilmer. But
I
anyway,
like Val Kilmer. I like the comic booky
Yeah.
looking
But,
Batman, though.
the,
When Tommy Lee Jones is Two-Face.
But then right after this one, the Batman, I liked it because of the detective thing.
I
Yeah.
did too. Yes.
And I liked him walking in, and actually
Yeah.
in the murder scene, looking around and seeing stuff.
Yeah.
But then right after that would be the Christian Bale movies. The Christian Bale movies just two more. They seem more this superhero action movies.
Yes, yeah, it was
You know.
their superhero action movies. Batman is not he's not Superman, and they try to make him like Superman a lot, and he's not. You know, if you ever watch the cartoon version of Justice League,
Yeah.
you'll know Batman's always like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that. You guys just do what you're gonna do." But I don't do that.
That's one of the things I really hope for the next movies with Robert Pattinson as Batman are, I really hope that he does bulk up more, because I would
Before we get into that,
yeah.
so 8.5, maybe
8.5.
maybe 9,
Eight.
7, 8. So we've wrapped up what we think it is.
Yeah.
So now we're going to move on to spoilers. So if you got your warning now that if you don't want to hear the spoilers, then
Yep.
Go ahead and leave now. But otherwise,
Stick
we're
around.
good. But yeah, and always a thing because you got to do it because you're on, YouTube. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and leave a comment at the bottom. Especially you can leave a comment if there's something else you want us to review or watch. Which remember the movies we watch, we like. It's like that Alien, Teenage Aliens from Outer Space. We like to look at movies like that are just dumb, and it doesn't have to be a cheap movie. Because like I've told them, I said, the new Jurassic World, whatever's coming out, and that's an expensive big budget movie, but it's going to be a stupid movie.
Oh yeah,
It's going to be a
That's
stupid action
big,
movie.
dumb action,
Yeah.
making no sense. Something you can laugh at, like Kong versus Godzilla.
Oh, that was
Way
so
more
dumb.
fun when y'all were there and we were making fun of it than when I started
Yes.
off watching it by myself. And I'm like, well, that's okay.
He
But
went-
then y'all showed up. Then it got funnier because then we were about to make comments about it.
He
And then it
went
was
to the
good.
center of the earth and they looked at each other.
Yeah.
In the tunnel.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're like,
Oh my gosh.
but
Oh.
yeah.
And
So-
how
so-
well before they go, how would you rate the Little Caesars Bat Calzone
yeah, I
pizza?
forgot about that.
Not a sponsor.
The calzone part is good. It's got like
The
feta
calzone is
cheese in it or
delicious.
something.
The calzone. It's the best thing I've ever tried from Little
Right.
Caesars.
The pizza is better than your hot and ready Little Caesars pizza, but it's still just okay. But the calzone.
The
Is
calzone is the best thing I've ever tasted
weird
from Little
shaped as
Caesars.
it is on
It's
there.
delicious.
The calzone is really good. But you got to remember, you used to have a job where I drove around all day. The Little Caesars personal little pan pizza with 4 little pizzas
Those
and a
are
drink.
good.
That is a good lunch. was like, oh, it's like $5. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's good.
Some of you may be asking, but I didn't try the calzone part. We got 2 of them.
Yeah, that's why I haven't really touched mine because I ate.
That's why I barely ate
yeah.
one piece. I had the calzone.
I came in from working on the sign that will be behind here saying Crain's Bar and Grill that we're working on. We're going to put up, me and Connor making the whole thing out of wood, all the letters.
Putting lights on it and everything.
My wife, Mom, she printed out on her Cricut, printed the letters out so then I could tape it and cut them out of wood and sand. You got to sand everything and everything. We're putting lights on it.
So he was working on that while we were eating the first pizza.
Yes,
and then he came in and he's like, "What are you doing?" We're like, "We got 2. It's fine."
And I was like, while they do all that, I give them moral support.
Yeah.
That's my job.
Barely.
It's what I can give.
She comes out and looks at the stuff and I go, "Oh, that looks really good. I want to show somebody." So
I do that. Just for you, Dad.
Yeah, I spent all day today.
That's how I contribute.
With a hot glue gun and letters, and we got lights that we can change different colors and everything. These little lights are like little tiny lights, and about that long of wire in between, and gluing it and getting them just far enough apart. 'Cause you got to get enough lights on a letter to make it light up.
Yeah.
The back of it, because it's gonna be like backlit. So I'm hot gluing and then twisting it around and then hot glue. I said I had to have started that. Because you left about 11 or so, and I started maybe an hour. I started about noon,
and it is
we stopped early because I had to go see the movie, but up until we went and saw the movie.
Yeah.
So I worked on it probably good 6-7 hours.
Yeah.
6 hours. It was a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I stopped at 8 and stuff like that, but yeah, the calzone part is really good.
It is.
Yeah. All right, so goodbye, people who haven't seen the Batman. Go watch it.
It's who don't like spoilers, because some people don't. Like me, I'll watch it even though
that's fair.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I'll do that too. I'll watch spoiler videos when I haven't seen the movie.
Because most of the time, most movies you know what's going to happen already.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so into spoilers now.
Getting into spoilers. What was your favorite part of the movie?
Favorite part. I still, when he's walking through the crime scenes, I just loved watching him walk through the crime scenes and look at the stuff. You'd think it'd be like an action part or where he did something, and no, I thought it looked really good and really cool, and the way they did the city and the way they did everything looked really lived in, and the apartments looked really used, and or the houses or whatever. It would just, I like that.
Yeah. I liked that they really stuck to him not killing people. That is Batman's thing, and I feel like they kind of get away with they go away from that in the other Batmans. Like Ben Affleck's ready to kill somebody, but like I like that they stuck to that, and I like that they made him a detective. And I like that you could tell watching you're gonna be able to see him grow in these next couple movies. Like, I liked that part. And then I did like him with his shirt off. I did not like him with the mask off, but I liked him with the shirt off.
Mask on, shirt off?
Yes. I like
that. Because he looked a little emo-y with his mask off.
Yes.
His hair was the hair long, yeah.
It was the hair. If they'd have done the hair different.
I think they were... Because I think they were going for that young Batman who hasn't figured it out
yet.
I think angsty.
I
think in the next movies we're gonna see him, because this movie he was very much just Batman. I think in the next movies we're gonna see him become more Bruce Wayne, the philanthropist.
Like I said,
he's gonna cut his hair. He's gonna
that's what I was.
I think he's like I said. I think he's gonna have to take over.
Wayne Industries.
No, well, not a Wayne Industries. He's already
the renewal project.
The renewal project, and straighten that out so nobody can take advantage of it anymore. And he's going to have to grow up.
Yes,
a little bit.
My favorite part of the movie was probably I loved every interaction he had with Andy Serkis as Alfred.
I know what my favorite part is. That was
the hospital scene.
The hospital scene.
The hospital scene with
I actually
him
teared
and
up.
Alfred.
Yeah, I did
was
too.
So good.
I actually teared up on that part. It's going to be that scene, and then I have to revise it. That one, and then a couple of scenes he had with Catwoman. I liked the chemistry.
Yes.
Then him walking. Then him walking through doing the thing. But I forgot all about the when the hospital that was a really good scene. Yeah.
I like the scene with the penguin when they left him.
When they left
that
him,
was so funny.
Well, like a
He's
penguin.
waddling like a penguin.
Yeah.
You're just gonna leave me here.
Just gonna leave me here.
I like that there was humor in it too.
Yeah.
Because all the Batmans, they don't have humor in it now.
But not so much.
Yeah.
You can't do a Marvel humor.
It was
where they
dark
cut off
humor.
they cut off every emotional moment with the laugh.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
It was very much like, oh, this is a realistic thing that happened that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Right.
When he's gliding down and he brings out his parachute and he catches on the bridge and he slams up into it.
Oh, that was so funny.
Yeah.
And then he gets these. Oh god.
Yeah.
The funniest part to me about that scene was he gets up and like limps away, and he lost his cape when it happened. He limps away into the shadows. The very next scene, you see him standing on top of the building with a
his
brand new
cape.
cape.
With the cape. Yeah.
He
He's got a cape.
went-
took the time to go home and get a new
cape.
cape and
Yeah.
come back.
Well, he's got to look good next to the
his
moonlight.
Cape,
Yeah.
His cape had a collar on it,
Yeah, it had a little bit of a collar
Yeah.
thing there.
and it because it's Rob Pat, it just reminded me of Dracula.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I kept thinking, I like the collar and how it looks, but it did look a little bit like that.
Yeah. And you don't need to remind of vampires when
Nope,
it's come
you
to Robert
really
Pattinson.
don't. Yeah, Robert Pattinson, even though he didn't work out, which I like him kind of skinny. Don't let him.
He didn't have to work on it.
Don't let him get you down, Rob. I like you skinny. But anyway, I don't like him all bulked up. But
Unless it's Thor, right?
hey, I'm more of a fan of Big Lebowski Thor. But whatever.
So that's what she's actually
Right. No, I like
It's that
him.
dad bod.
I like him like Loki, skinny. But anyway, I think he did. I think he did really good as Batman. Like, I was
Yeah.
surprised the action scenes he was really, really good at.
He was really good as Batman.
You redeemed yourself, Rob Pattinson, from Twilight.
Yeah.
For
yeah,
me.
Yeah.
Because as a teenage girl watching Twilight, you were
This is the first thing I've seen him in
But
since
you have
Twilight
redeemed
as well.
yourself.
He was in some other movie that was very critically acclaimed, and everyone said he did an amazing job. I never saw it.
But-
I don't remember what it is.
Yeah. It was one of those movies that we probably wouldn't watch.
Right.
It seemed like a movie that I might like, but I never got around to watching
It wasn't as popular as it wasn't.
It
like
wasn't a super popular.
right. It
movie.
wasn't like La La Land. That's critically acclaimed and super popular. It
Yeah.
was kind of
Yeah.
It's
But,
the one with him in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
And he's like just got back from war. It's like based like 1940
Okay,
something.
So we also have we liked what didn't you like besides the length?
Besides the
of it?
length.
Was there anything you didn't like?
Ooh.
There was a woke moment that I didn't like.
Oh yeah, I didn't like.
There was-
There wasn't a
As you said,
reason.
when she said all white.
white
She mentioned
privilege.
white privilege.
White-
I'm
Yeah.
like,
privileged
you're in
men.
Gotham. There's no privilege for anybody.
Yeah.
It's Gotham City.
It's not white privilege. It's not even
criminal,
like
it's criminal
It's
privilege.
it's
criminal
criminal
privilege.
privilege. It's not even like classist privilege.
right,
It's criminal
exactly.
privilege.
It's criminal privilege.
Because the criminals are running the city.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that kind of took me out of the movie
For a
bit.
second.
Yeah.
For a second, yeah.
Considering her dad was the white
Was
gangster
Falcone?
dude. But whatever. That kind of took me out of the movie. But that was really the only part that I didn't care for. What was it?
Yeah.
I felt that when it happened, and then I felt a little bit when the new mayor was giving her speech. I felt it just a little bit, but it didn't feel out of place in the world. It just felt like something somebody would say in our in our world as well.
Yeah.
But
But they did allow Batman. Wasn't it Batman, or was it the police chief that tackled her to save her whenever she got shot?
That was
yes,
Gordon.
That was Gordon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they let a guy, save her. So
Yeah.
that's that.
Yeah.
So they didn't go completely nuts. You just I don't know. Maybe they had that one part in there just so they can make people happy. And plus, I think the actress is kind of
Yeah.
like that, so she probably liked it.
I don't know who played Gordon. I don't know the actor's name.
He's good.
But I loved him as Gordon.
Yeah, he was good. He was good.
There were some
And they
some
had
of those.
and they had some chemistry together too.
Some of
Batman.
those
Yeah.
some of those funny moments,
Yeah.
those realistic funny moments
Were him.
Yeah.
were him.
Yeah.
So good.
Him
Yeah.
and the Penguin.
Yeah.
They made you laugh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
he
good.
was really
Now
good.
the part
Yeah.
that got me was the part where what's his face's head got blown off. because and only because it took me. Again, it's one of the parts that took me out because
didn't burn
he
his
was.
face.
Well, Batman was way too close.
Yeah.
He should have turned and put his
he
cape
literally
up
could
or
have-
right
something.
here.
He literally could
and
have
it
done
blew up.
anything.
Would have burned this part, and
He
I'm
could
thinking,
have
wouldn't that
done-
have burned his face off?
Yeah, he could have done
You know?
anything, and we wouldn't have thought twice about it.
Yeah.
If he'd have pushed him away, if he'd have turned his back.
He could have done the Batman move and put his
His
cape over it.
Yeah.
like turned around like this.
That's
we don't know what his
Batman
cape's made
does.
of. It could
Exactly.
be fireproof.
In
that
every
makes sense.
in every cartoon, every movie, Batman does this and nothing hurts him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like that would have been okay, but he did nothing and he just got blown
Yeah.
back.
Now watch. We'll go watch it a second time, and he did do that. We just didn't see it. But
That
Oh, that
have
could be
happened.
true.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're
Could
watching
be
it the
true.
Because
first
I
time, you
felt
don't
like-
notice everything.
I felt
Although,
like it was like,
I
how could
was-
you miss that
yeah.
making the movie? You're probably right.
Yeah, it might have happened, but at the same time, I was waiting. I was waiting for him to do something.
I
and
was
then
too.
it just blew
So
up.
I'm like, this is
Right.
gonna blow the
But
dude's
it
head
might
off.
have been the second that it blew up. He was doing this or something
Yeah.
with his cape.
It
or
could have
Yeah.
been.
something.
But yeah, that
But-
that kind of took me out because I was like, his
Yeah.
face would be all burned off and concussion and
To a
At
lesser
least-
extent,
at
there were a
least
couple
here-
other scenes that were very like a real person would not be able to survive that
That's
and walk
but
all
away.
he's got a
Batman
pretty
movies.
but he's got a pretty tough. It's bulletproof and everything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
So
It's not well. I mean, with the explosion, it's not the fire of the
Well,
explosion that would kill you. It's the shockwave
the
that would
the shockwave.
that would
It's
destroy your brain.
It's still
Yeah,
Batman.
yeah.
I mean, Batman should be dead anyway in any movie or show he's in.
Well, you got to.
So-
It's a little
Yeah,
suspension
yeah.
of disbelief because you
That-
also got
that
you
is
also-
one of the
Right.
things that I
Like-
the explosion was the most egregious thing.
Yeah.
But like when he's taking bullets and all that stuff,
That's,
I'm like
Batman does that.
that's
Yeah.
you know.
But
That's
the,
still within
but
my
yeah.
suspension of
Like I
disbelief
said,
for Batman.
I can forgive he didn't get a concussion. It was
Yeah.
just the fire part.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Oh.
but then you also had Catwoman. He at the beginning they had it right when he kicked her butt basically.
Yeah.
But then later on in the movie, she's kicking a security guard in the face, and he's going over and getting knocked out, not getting back
Right.
up. I'm like, what does she weigh? Maybe a $105.
Yeah.
She could kick me in the face, and I'm just going to go, ow, that hurt, and I'm going to
Yeah.
Yeah. That's also
That's one of-
Catwoman always
especially
does
if I was a
that.
gay-
That's
Gangster,
one
I've
of the
probably been
things
kicked in the face
that
before.
I feel like they do really good with.
But she's a super. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a superhero movie, so
Yeah.
you kind of
But that's one of the things I feel they do really good in Marvel with Scarlett Johansson,
Black
Black
Widow.
Widow.
Yeah.
Is that she is not just taking people down. A lot of the time, she has some sort of baton or something in her hand, and even someone that small swinging a solid baton
yeah,
like
that's
that,
gonna-
you can break bone.
Yeah.
Like,
or she has some cool
it's
move where
yeah.
she spins up around their neck and flips them over and makes them land on.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
or she's got in the later movies, she had like the stun gun gauntlet things
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And Harley Quinn's got her bat, and then
Yeah.
Poison Ivy.
Well,
She
she
actually
is-
has powers.
She actually has magical plant powers.
Right.
So, yeah.
But what I like about her is she doesn't really use
And
the plant
have you ever
powers.
tried
she
to-
uses the seduction more.
And have you ever tried to punch a vine? It doesn't really hurt it.
True.
So-
But no, one part that I really liked, I just thought about, is the end when they're in the stadium and he comes through the top and he looks like Batman.
Yes.
With his cape
Yeah,
out
yeah,
and everything.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's
Very-
Batman.
it
I
was
love
very
that
Batman.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good.
Because you don't get a whole, we've had the whole Christian Bale ones, and you don't get
Yeah.
a whole lot of that Batman coming through the ceiling. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And
I love that.
And I thought it was neat. The bat symbol is also a knife.
Yes,
that was
it's
kinda cool.
also like the bat symbol is also
Yeah.
sort
It's
of his
also a
like
knife.
batarang,
batarang,
yes,
and
knife
he can cut
whatever.
stuff with
Yeah.
it. That was pretty cool.
'Cause,
And I got the part, and I think it earned, and I got the part where he switched from I can't be vengeance to
From vengeance to justice.
to justice. So
Yeah.
and it wasn't cheesy where some kid or something some kid just said, well, I want to be vengeance like you, or something stupid like
Right.
that. And then he realized that no, this was someone who the Riddler knew he called himself Vengeance. You know what I mean? Because that's what he said to the criminals. I'm
Yeah.
Vengeance. So he knew. So when his followers, he wanted to be, we're a team. Remember, he thought I'm crazy and we're a team.
Yeah.
And so he told his people, you need to be Vengeance because of Batman. And I think Batman realized that no, the Riddler was crazy and thinks now. So now he's telling his people they need to be Vengeance, and maybe realize I don't need to be that.
Yeah.
That's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And I want to be the good guy. I'm not helping out, especially after finding out about his dad, and his dad did something, and because he hasn't taken his rightful place yet. They're using renewal in order to funnel money to all the criminals and stuff like that. So he realized, I need to be more than that. I need to be more for, if I really want to save the city, I need to be more than vengeance. I need to be justice. I need to be the Batman.
Yeah. Like he wasn't making the difference he thought he was making.
Yes. It was going the opposite way.
You were making,
and
you know,
I haven't said a thing that I don't like yet, but I can't think of a thing that you guys didn't already mention.
Yeah.
Like there was the length. And then there was the explosion and a couple things like that, and then
the woke part.
The white privilege
thing.
I'm like,
I mean, I would have got it if she had said like, you know, something about because I'm a woman or something. Because in that movie, they looked like they treated everyone like shit, pretty much. From where she's from. From where she grew up, they're nothing.
Yeah, well, I
could see that, but the white, it's Gotham.
And maybe that, but it still would have been better if they said the rich people, just rich people.
Right, exactly.
Because that's really what it is. It has nothing to do with male, female, black, white.
The rich people.
The rich people,
it's
no matter what color,
whatever
color they are, they're going to treat everybody below them like crap. You know, it's just what comes along with it.
I knew as soon as they were talking to the Penguin, I was like, Batman, Bruce Wayne. That's the last person he's going for. And then I knew something was going to happen to Alfred. Something always happens to Alfred. Once Batman figures that out, he never makes it in time and something happens to Alfred.
Well,
poor Alfred. I quit.
When the trailers were first dropping and stuff, and when the movie first came out, didn't they delay it coming out?
I don't remember. Probably.
But like when the trailers first started coming out and stuff, there was like an on-set leak that something happens to Alfred during the movie.
Something always happens to Alfred.
And a lot of people thought that in the trailer it showed the mayor with duct tape around his face.
Ah.
A lot of people thought that was Alfred.
Oh, okay.
And that the Riddler murders Alfred. And so I knew something was going to happen to Alfred at some point, but I was really glad they didn't murder him, like flat out murder him. I'm like, I really like Andy Serkis in the role.
Yeah, Andy Serkis was really good.
He was really good.
I liked him. Yeah,
one of the two roles that you actually that he's not CG.
Exactly, you actually see him in it.
But I really liked him in it. But Michael Caine's always gonna be my favorite Alfred.
Yeah,
Michael Caine.
Yeah.
He's Alfred. That's what he looks like. No, you did really good, especially in this kind of Batman.
So is there anything else about that? Besides, I'm looking forward to seeing, I hope we get to see him grow out of just being Batman and get him to see, because I'd like to see him make that conscious decision where I am Batman, that's who I am.
Yeah.
But I've got to act like Bruce Wayne, and Bruce Wayne's got to be a little bit of a playboy and a goofball, so I throw everybody off the scent.
Yes.
And I'd like to see him make that conscious decision.
See him develop into having the persona of Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, and not something where Alfred knows.
Yeah.
That when he was out drinking that night, Alfred's not going to question, why are you out drinking? Why are you doing all that stuff? And he just doesn't tell him like, well, just leave me alone because I got to whatever. I'd like for him to just, he comes back from being out all night and or whatever, and when he comes in, he's perfectly sober because he really wasn't drinking all that much, even though everybody thought
he had two drinks, and everybody thought he was wasted.
And Alfred Alfred's like, you did really good tonight on the whatever like that. You picked the right woman to go out with, or you picked the right whatever, and do it, and just not even taking it. He's even drunk. He knows what's up.
I really liked the contact lens camera thing.
That was
I don't know how realistic that is. But it was a really cool idea.
It's not realistic at all.
It's not realistic at all.
Where are you going to keep the battery?
Yeah.
But
it's a really cool idea.
It's a cool idea. Yeah. And it gives you it gives him a thing where he can go back and look and not have to have a camera somewhere.
Yeah.
And I liked that they even incorporated like the very cheesy like Batman narrating what he's doing. Like it's him writing things down because he stays up all night and sleeps during the day, and lack of sun is like a serious thing.
Yeah.
And so it's like the days really run together and everything, and so he has to journal everything that he does to keep everything straight. I really liked how they did that.
So I found out at the end that is the Joker.
It is the Joker?
How did you find that out?
Because I googled it.
Well, so the people that wrote the movie
confirmed it was.
They confirmed it was the Joker.
Okay. I think they all thought we were going to assume it was the Joker.
I assumed it was the Joker, but I saw that his face was kind of screwed up. So I'm like, and you can only really see like the silhouette of one side of his face. So I'm like, is it Two-Face?
Do we know
Probably
who it is?
the Joker.
Yes, we do know who's playing him.
Is it someone we know?
No, but he looks like an older version of the kid that plays the Flash.
Huh. That's weird. That's weird to have someone we don't know.
The Flash in the DC movies or the Flash in the TV show?
Flash in the DC movies.
Okay.
That's weird to have someone we don't know play the Joker, but it could be a smart move because who he is not going to take away from the part.
Doesn't he kind of look like an older version of the kid who plays the Flash?
He does.
And I've seen him somewhere before.
Yes,
just like the one that plays the Riddler. I've seen him in a show before.
I had to.
But he's
the
not like
Riddler.
a main character.
The Riddler to me looked like a young
Dunkirk.
James Spader.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that. But I've actually seen this guy in a movie in a show before.
He's not as good looking as James Spader, but Dunkirk. That's what we saw him in. Okay. Yeah, he's the kid that's with Harry Styles or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, he looks kind of the Riddler looks kind of like James Spader.
He's in the Eternals too. I mean,
this
guy's got it going on right now.
Dang.
You get to be in the Eternals and the Batman, like.
Dang.
I don't know,
and you're going to get to be in the next one?
Did anyone watch the Eternals?
Did anybody see the Eternals?
None of us did.
Yeah, I haven't.
Again,
I don't know.
They can only mess my Marvel up.
I haven't kept up with all the Marvel stuff. I've kept up with the movies at least.
Yeah.
And besides up to, that one. But I could tell from going in that it was going to be just like, Batman versus Superman or the Justice League movie where it's like there's just a little too many people to be able to actually give us any backstory on anyone.
Yeah, that's true. To know who anybody is.
I knew they were going to be like, okay, here's all the characters.
Right.
Instead of focusing on, like, you could focus on, like,
two or three characters,
and then the other ones are more background characters. These are the main ones, and then you see the other ones in other movies, or they get their own movie or something.
I don't think...
where you get to know them.
I think they thought they weren't going to be able to keep Angelina Jolie and Salma Hayek
That's
for
fair.
more movies.
Well, then they shouldn't have cast them.
They shouldn't have cast them.
The Eternals should have shown up, one or two of them in a couple of movies till you got to know.
They should have been cameos.
Yeah.
They should have been cameos.
So you get to know who they are.
I think she loves doing kids movies that her kids can watch, so they would have kept her. Salma Hayek might have been iffy, but I think they were worried about the wrong thing.
Because I mean, when Marvel,
what other movies are coming out right now that those two can be in?
Yeah,
people are going to go to the movies for.
Because in the original Marvel, they not only did each one of them pretty much have their own show, except for Hulk, but who doesn't know who the Hulk is?
Well, technically,
the Hulk did, but nobody really, wasn't like he had multiple movies.
Yeah, he had his own movie that didn't do that well, and then a couple years before that, they had a completely separate. I think it was two Hulk movies.
And Eric Bana was in one.
Yeah, there were there was the one that's part of Marvel. Then there were it was one or two movies. There might have been a sequel that weren't part of.
Yeah, but it wasn't really so.
But nobody know who he is, which is why they never.
It's kind of like in this one. I'm glad in the Batman they didn't
do his origin story.
I know, we know.
Same thing with Spider-Man: Homecoming. They didn't do his origin story.
Everybody knows
who
Batman is.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone knows who they are.
Everybody knows how Spider-Man got his powers. We don't need to go there.
All right.
But the
only person
Uncle Ben died.
The only person apparently who wasn't sure who some of the people were was Andrea.
She goes, I know nothing about Batman. I was like, well, it's Parasite, and as I'm telling her this, I can tell she literally knew nothing.
Yeah. She asked who Alfred was when he was lying in the hospital. She's like, so who's that? Is he related to him? I'm like, that's his butler, but he basically raised him.
Well, it's because DC's owned by Warner
Brothers.
True,
not
and
Disney.
she's a Disney nut.
Yeah,
so.
Disney nut. That's his fiance, by the way, Andrea. She is completely Disney, 100%.
Getting married soon.
It was so we liked it whenever Disney. Well, we didn't like it when Disney bought Star Wars. I mean, at first we didn't know what they were going to do to it, but we liked it at first because now she could buy gifts other than Mickey Mouse. She could actually buy Star Wars and she could buy Marvel stuff.
Right.
But
the problem that Disney had with Star Wars was that
one story, one director, and make it coherent.
They let Kathleen Kennedy run things, and she didn't know how to run it.
Evidently not.
Apparently, with Marvel, they put Kevin Feige in charge of everything, And he actually put together a coherent story across multiple movies and everything.
Yeah, well,
he actually had a
yeah.
plan.
Yeah, he knew
Kathleen
that
Kennedy's just like, make a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, and he knew that hey,
make a sequel.
You make a Captain America movie within these guidelines.
Yes,
because it's got to fit an overall narrative we're going with.
The only ones that I don't think had very much of a guideline. The first Iron Man movie didn't have much of a guideline, and I don't know if the Hulk did.
It didn't really need to though. But it was the first one.
But they're the
Iron
first
Man
ones.
kind of started the guidelines.
It was the first. Yeah, it was the first one. So
those are the first ones. They don't really need to.
You go anywhere from that. But like I was saying, the with those multiple things, Marvel knew in the early Marvel. I mean, they knew that like each one of them got their own movie before they had the Avengers or whatever like that. Then when you saw Thanos a little bit here and there, but you didn't know who he was. But what did they do? They gave him his own movie. It's called Infinity War.
Yeah, Infinity War was Thanos' movie.
That's Thanos' movie. You got to see a whole movie who he was.
Yep.
Before they jumped into it. They didn't go, hey, we're going to introduce Thor, we're going to introduce Captain America and Iron Man, and here's the bad guy, Thanos. And you got to learn who everybody is all in one 2.5 hour movie.
The bad guy for the first Avengers movie was still Loki, who was the bad guy. He was the bad guy in Thor.
Yeah. So you knew who Loki was.
And then you got to see Loki turn good, and that made it so good.
Kind of good.
And then he died.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But did he really? Because he showed back up in Endgame. No, because it was the past Loki, and now he can go. Oh, yeah, I got a test.
That's the Loki that's in the Loki TV show.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad they did that because I like Loki.
And in the Doctor Strange trailer, it makes it look like it's Doctor Strange's fault that the multiverse is falling apart, which it partially is. But I haven't watched the Loki show, but from what I heard, Loki had a lot to do with it falling apart.
Listen, it wasn't just Loki; it was Loki, Wanda, and Peter.
And Wanda, yes,
and Peter Parker. Like all three of them, pretty much messed it up. And now Doctor Strange is like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
I wonder whose voice that was when he was like, "Tell him." It sounded familiar, like when he's walking in handcuffs. Doctor Strange. That was another pre-trailer we saw. We saw Doctor Strange.
Yeah, and that one looked pretty good.
There was like a tribunal of people that were going to judge him. It didn't show their faces, so you know it's somebody you know. Yeah.
But I like Benedict Cumberbatch, so I mean, so I like Doctor Strange. That looked like a good one.
Who doesn't like Benedict Cumberbatch?
So, yeah.
That's why you need to watch Spider-Man: No Way Home. He's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch, Bumblebatch, or whatever his name is. No, just kidding. People always get his name wrong. But, yeah. I mean, is there anything else about Batman? I can't think about anything else.
No, the ending, they could have solved the feeling of multiple endings.
That's true, because it didn't feel like it ended, and then you're like, oh, no, it ended again, and it ended again.
They could have solved that with... I mean, if they wanted to do the whole thing with the explosions where the dam rushes in, you're still going to feel like, oh, they caught the Riddler. It's kind of the end. Oh, wait, there's another thing. You're still going to have that feeling. But the very end, it would have solved everything if, they show Batman rescuing people, and instead of cutting to the Riddler and the Joker scene, it cuts to him and Catwoman's goodbyes.
And they drive off into
the sunset.
They drive off.
Then they have a post-credit scene that is the Riddler and the Joker.
They did have a post-credit scene, didn't they?
I looked it up while we were still in the theater, which is why we left. It's just like the Riddler. It's like the Riddler saying goodbye, and there's a URL. It's the URL that he types in during the movie.
That's it.
Yeah,
when they could have had the post-credit scene, could have been.
It doesn't have anything to do with anything.
It could have been him and the Joker talking to each other.
Well, I thought the post-credit scene was going to be. I thought it was going to be the Flash. How else are they going to get to the timeline where Robert Pattinson's Batman is?
That's definitely how they're going to do it.
Well, yeah,
because they're going to do the whole.
So fast
what is it called?
What's
the story called? Flashpoint? Is that the
something like that?
Yeah.
But I thought it was going to be the Flash because that's how he's going to get Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and all them.
Yeah. When I googled it, it just said it was the Riddler.
I think it's too soon. He's not Batman. I mean, he's Batman, but he's not Bruce Wayne yet. I think if they're going to do it smart and they're actually going to do that, they should do the next movie, which should be probably the Penguin and the Joker and whatever like that, and then the third of the trilogy, because this should just be Batman. The third one, then maybe start working some of that other stuff into it. Give him time to be Batman. Give him time, because that's where DC messes up. They're going to throw all of it in at one time. when you got to give, they had an Iron Man thing, didn't have anything to do with anybody else.
No.
Had a Thor one, then you had
Iron
had
Man
Captain
was
America.
given a brief mention in Thor.
Yeah.
He was given a mention at the end of the Hulk movie.
Yeah.
And then his dad was in the Captain America movie.
And
That's
Black
the closest
Widow,
they were tied together.
Exactly.
And Black Widow is in.
Black Widow is in the
And
first
the Agents
Iron
of
Man.
S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
But they're just side characters.
They're
Yeah,
ancillary
it's all side
characters. But you don't get into all that other stuff until let's get Batman, have some
Iron
Batman
Man and Iron Man
things.
2 happened before the first Avengers movie.
Yeah. You could have Flash in the third one or something like that. Flash is something that's happening, coming in and out or something like that, and Batman being the detective he's like, he figures out, he's like, what is going on with this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be very Crisis on Infinite Earths kind of thing.
Yeah.
Could be.
She watched the whole Supergirl and Flash and stuff.
It's pretty good. Like,
Did you watch the Flash TV show or just Supergirl?
I just watched Supergirl, but I did watch obviously the episodes where there was Crisis on Infinite Earth.
Yeah.
And I do want to watch the new because the Superman is from Supergirl. He's in Supergirl. And I like him a lot. He's getting his own TV show.
I like that.
Or he already has it. I don't know.
I like that. What's his name that played Superman in Superman Returns?
It's her adopted dad.
Plays. What's his superhero name in? Doesn't he play? It's like Adam or something.
No, the guy from the Terry Hatcher Superman, he plays her adopted dad.
What's his face?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him. Yeah.
He dated what, Mindy McCready or something like that.
I'm not sure.
I'm talking about Superman Returns. The one where the one where everyone gets grossed out because he gets shot in the eye with a bullet and it crumbles.
Oh yeah.
Everyone gets grossed out by that scene.
It is kind of gross.
He only played Superman in Superman Returns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't in
young.
Supergirl.
He was in Crisis on Infinite Earths though. He played something Adam or something like that.
I may not have recognized him, and I was too concentrated on the guy from Smallville being in there.
But also on Crisis on Infinite Earths, didn't he also reprise a cameo as Superman for a little bit?
I don't know.
I want to say
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Because he's the most unrecognizable, like Superman.
Yeah. He's the most generic-looking Superman. He's like Superman at home.
Right. That's what it is. They had Wonder Woman, the old Wonder Woman, on Supergirl.
Yeah.
They had Terry Hatcher.
Yeah.
They had the guy who played Superman in the one with Terry Hatcher.
They kind of had to. They kind of had. Remember this? Remember this?
They had John Cryer playing Lex Luthor. He was a good Lex Luthor. And lots of Desperate Housewives in it. I don't know why. Lots of Desperate Housewives. But it was pretty good.
And then they had the guy from Smallville.
Yes, he was on Crisis on Infinite Earths. That's what everyone was waiting for.
Yeah.
Everyone was waiting for him.
That's the one that everyone wanted.
Him,
yeah.
So that's what everyone was waiting for. And they had the girl that plays Lois was in there too.
Yeah, and they were married and stuff.
Good.
Yeah,
you couldn't have Chloe in there because, she's in jail. But whatever.
Well, he ends up with Lois. Chloe doesn't matter.
Exactly. We don't talk about Chloe. And, yeah.
So, anything else?
I don't think that pretty much
I think
sums
we've gone
up
on
the
enough
Batman.
tangents.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed the Batman.
Yeah, I did. It was good.
There were less issues in the Batman than there have been in like any other movie I've watched recently. Yeah. Besides maybe No Way Home, but No Way Home was just like a really fun movie. It wasn't like a
series.
There's not a lot to analyze there.
Yeah.
Right.
But all right. So again, like and subscribe, and thank you for joining us tonight. And we'll see you next time at Crane's Barn Grill.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Bye.